Hey there everyone, how's it going? Sharim's Fees here. We're dropping right into this. So as you guys know, Ghostwire Tokyo came out last Friday and I wanted to cover the game, but I had no idea what was going on or what the game was about. All I know is just made by the same studio that made the Evil Within series, and they had actually put a prelude to the game in a visual comic style. And wow, I'm loving this animation. So we're dropping right in. So this is the prelude. This is like what happened before. So hopefully it sheds some light on what's going on. I already basically started the game, and then I was just, okay, I know it's in Tokyo. There's a supernatural phenomenon going on. Everyone's missing, and you're a random guy on the street with a missing eye. I have no idea. But this is just for me and anyone that's interested in seeing the walkthrough for Ghostwire Tokyo. And this is Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, the Corrupted Case File. I mean, what can you say? Japanese developers and their really long titles for source materials. But I'm impressed. It's just gonna be a visual novel. Of course, you can go watch the walkthrough after this. I'm uploading 2 videos today, and I'll be doing more on Twitch. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell before we get started. Let's start with a new case file. Let's just start this all from scratch and get the prelude going. Okay, starts with question mark. Huh? Rinko. God damn it, Rinko. Also, if I sound cringy, forgive me, I don't know voice acting. Erica? No one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anyone's mind these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How's a kid supposed to be a kid in a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. Okay. Oh, okay, so it looks like it's like kind of like it's a visual Telltales kind of game. So let's see. Ryota's concern brings him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled the Kirigauka Vanishing. He reads to himself the best he can. Same way, as best I can. Having tracked another report of dark fog to the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found was the clothes of a mother and a son, left behind like 2 molted cicada shells. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone, precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sinks knowing that I've failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down, heavier. It fell with each passing minute, but I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprit returned to the scene of the crime. A group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if the rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down on them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my other wrath kept me going. As I picked up the leaves, I still refused to open up my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Okay, that's one case file, I guess. Next one is unable to shake the idea of that monsters are all around. Ryota navigates on his phone to documents called the Maronichi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, It says, man, I need to work on my reading skills. I got a tip on a missing woman from Maronichi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that he saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. everybody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horse shit. Wasn't until I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. However, ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't a fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise I would have seen through the monsters taking the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, and I knew so as long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag, found the missing lady's ID cards. In there I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were a little pile, but they had fallen and made it clear her body had just vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was either. I finally managed to get my hands on the solid enough lead to work with. KK. And then one more post from the guy. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can and do, according to this one. A lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had a feeling there'd be more to this. Black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I've been the only one that can see these black stains. The lady who lived there showed me in, made no sign of noticing it. She showed me this bathtub and gave me the play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, so she went to the bathroom to check on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for the short instant, there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. I rubbed my fingers on the rim of the bathtub. There was a transparent, sticky, slime-like substance on it. A reflection of the shrine shone on the water's surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about this incident to see if these things ring any bells. I purged the black stain in the front door, and then I left the scene. Poor lady. What will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. And it looks like there's one more. In these posts, the kid found something, or rather someone called KK, has been looking into monsters in this part of town, a believer just like Ryota. Social media would never lie, and it means KK is an expert. Maybe the expert in all things paranormal. Ryota, there's only one thing left to do. Having poured every story, post, grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepared to take action. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. Saga Su. Okay. And whatever he supposed to click. Ghostwire. Contact information. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Okay, so this is really just setting up the prelude, or the whole entire thing leading up to the story, because when I started the game, it just drops you in. No premise or anything. All you just know that you're at the square of Tokyo and you're just confused and dazed. But let's see. So this is Rinko. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Hello. How are you? I am not good and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend Sosuke. Rinko sits in her chair. She's zeroed in on one of the dozen monitors across the makeshift command center stuffed into a cramped Tokyo apartment. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data files across the screen seemingly too much. Charts, graphs, maps, and mathematical equations, even social media feeds, and open case files. Somehow, through all these screens, all that clutter, Ryota's messages catches Rinko's eyes. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism in her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. She knows that what she thinks. What she also knows, no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting their teammates is the only way they can keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say but holds back. Technology is easy, people are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on the desk and he presses play as audio begins to roll. Ed turns and walks away. Ed's voice. I've heard intriguing stories about a so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts bullied students, said to trick other children into following them into the sewer. From where they never return. If any information turns out to be such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate, though I speak purely out of personal interest. It might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay. Safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend, you want to look into. Ed already engrossed in other work, he doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Rinko, probably the best we have no idea how to spend your free time, huh, Ed? Erica's been sitting next to Rinko the entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is... Okay, so this is Erica. Want me to check it out? I don't think so. Erica, could be dangerous if something happened to you. Seriously, still don't trust me? Go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica on something dangerous. So Rinko or Erica's 16. Otherwise, she's wearing a Josei uniform for sure. Schoolgirl uniform. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown maturity beyond her years. She's given Erica an almost sisterly-like skepticism. Aw. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitor and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica still can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our own private detectives in the vicinity. Already. I'll have him take a look. And that's the end of this section. Stall is brimming wide with customers. Wide array of the stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their noodles. The silence is broken when the phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores this, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. God damn it. The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. Aye, another case. These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Let me guess, I'll be risking my life and limb. That why you ring for so long? Too scared to pick up? Says Rinko. You know the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. At the day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back? Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not full enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but right now there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's simple. Check in on the report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. Oh man, throat try. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info. I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Okay, so it looks like we got a dialogue tree. Let's see. Let's talk to Ed. Ed, I'm betting you have a file on this already. Got a file on everything. Funny you say that. I have files dedicated solely to listing subjects that I don't have more complete files on yet. Want me to help pull them up? Just give me the highlights. Unfortunately, what I know about the legend of the manhole girl is so far is that it's just that, a legend. There's more may not be anything else to know. It appears to be a story passed around by kids at a sleepover. Wouldn't be the first time something that isn't supposed to be real attacked me in a dark alley. If you're worried, maybe it's time I returned to field work. When I wear my hat, I blend right into the Tokyo crowd. Funny, I would have never marked you as a Tokyo native. Then again, the place is absolutely crawling with tourists, isn't it? So Ed is clearly a gaijin. Thanks for your insight. I'll take it from here. Okay, so that's weird. So you had like one dialogue option to talk to the people. I wonder if I made the right choice. Back to Ryota. Ryota doesn't notice people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper on his hand. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. With a head, arms, body, it takes shape. A palm-shaped sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects the creation, someone who had been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but clutches the paper doll he had in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. Gotta admit, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. You get the benefit of a partner without knowing small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines his folded paper. The detective surprises himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow feels comfortable talking to this scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. So you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific, kid. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries, right? KK? Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media posts featuring photos of various case files he has worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only used those initial cause writing out my name is a pain. I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyway, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You wanted an investigator, kid. Well, you got one. So glad you're going to look into the disappearance at the manholes. Here's the thing, I already did. Made some calls on my way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still a few friends on the force, so I can dig. Still got a few friends on the force, so we can dig up with dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true, honest. My buddy Sasuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota motions to the alley behind him. He went that way. I tried to follow him, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. Ryota is bluffing he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back towards the alley. KK looks back and forth from the kid when the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. Any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness, but it came and then went. Alright. KK mutters something to himself as his eyeballs the alleyways behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in this city, some kid getting lost isn't exactly seems like front page news. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With as much as going into the city, some kid getting lost isn't exactly. Press for more info. Call the kid's bluff. Press for more info. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here? But it did happen. My best friend Sasuke. I'm gonna be hung up on that. Been missing for 2 full days. Everyone's been looking, but no one can find him. What about his parents? Have they filed a police report? I'm the only one who really cares about Sasuke. I know he needs me. And no one else even is looking for him anymore, just me. He's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of the cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sasuke's disappearance. I just need your help. Really? Did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of a friend, Erica. She lost someone too. She'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where this Sasuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. Just need a quick word with one of you to follow up with what the kid has told me. Okay, let's see. Rinko might be close to this. Let's see. Find anything else? I know you've been searching all over on your fancy computer. Some worrying details have started to emerge. The type of details that mean he is for sure involved. Social media is starting to fill up with posts about appearances in mysterious dark fog. It's been popping up on the neighborhood with similar data sets to the one that Ryota called. School absences are also on the rise. I've confirmed if those represent actual disappearances, just spooked kids trading scary stories, it's clear fear and paranoia are taking hold. Figured out that much. Oh, really? Carry a fear and paranoia detector now? Did Ed develop that when I wasn't paying attention? Years on the force are what gave me a fear detector. You can't beat experience. But I do appreciate your input, even if you already knew it all. Ryota? It's time we find Sosuke. I really need to look up that name. It's gonna bother me for the rest of the day, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna keep going. Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches his hands out. He's holding onto anything, but would think that he is, by the way he moves, he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand onto the ground. It ripples like water. It's in a still pond. Energy flows outward into the world. Oh, sick. I like that effect. Let's see. So I guess I'm clicking to see where. Oh wow. I'm investigating. So the ghost went around the corner. A strange trail floats into view as though a spirit has passed through the place. Okay, this is reminding me a lot about, if you guys remember, shoot, there was this one game where you investigated ghosts. Can't remember. Probably come up later in my dreams. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley, and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eye line down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid, it's good you can't see it. This power you don't want. And you're too young for it. Take a risk like that is to change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get back to your life. Ooh, that transition. Wonder how long these case files are. Okay. KK and Rinko are in big trouble this time, running like rats desperately to stay alive, with only a dingy sofa in between them and monsters. We'd better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK, sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn it, it's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus on rather than reform everything and continues to split apart even further. Another hallucination. The world's breaking in two. That'd be crystallization ether. Another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity. From thin air, the phantoms. These horrific visitors appear surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. Okay, let's see. That was an interesting effect. That was kind of hard to read. Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. He just kind of stood there for a while. Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight, I won't be long. Okay, looks like we're going around the corner. The report of Rinko's computer setup flashes on the screen. As monitoring software has hold of something big. Results are clear. Spiritual residue. And it's exactly at KK's location. What is it now? We just received an alert. There's a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuit until we're able to send support. Can't wait forever, you guys. We might have a missing child in our hands. We got plenty of evidence to know what I'm getting myself into. Remember, fog reports are increasing. There's a fear in the streets and time to act. Of course, I know these things. I'm the one who told you. Also, how dangerous it's getting out there. The time could be even worse than the last time. What if he knows? He shows up. Wish he would. Excited to see what mask snap into when I put my fingers through it. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us. When you use your own words against us. When you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. Okay, we talked to Rinko, Ed. Let's see what Erica has to say. What Erica and I have been through, I don't expect anyone else to understand. Hell, I barely understand it. Here's what I understand. I take risks so others don't have to. And yeah, you all do the same. That's why I'm proud to call you my team. But it has to stop somewhere. A line needs to be drawn. We aren't vulnerable ones who need to be your protection. We're all strong, and that strength multiplies when we work together and help others. Erica, you two are special to me, both of you, and I think I understand where both are coming from. It's just that that's this torment. Once the power has gotten inside you, the affinity, I won't let you rest. It's like being chased, running from somewhere something awful. I'm sorry that I'm not making sense. I just can't be quiet right now. I have I have to speak my truth. I have to support whatever decisions he makes. The truly selfish act would stand still and let it overtake you. In the end, I know that I would do the same thing. Let's hope you never have to. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. I never was good at following people's directions. Ed, that attitude is his precisely that saves our hides countless occasions. You don't think I realized that? Rinko. Erica smiles and thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Okay, I guess this is either a flashback or a flash forward, I'm not sure. Damn, they're everywhere. KK's arts dart between the two horrific figures. Some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. He tries to speak. KK wheezes painfully. Rinko! What would happen if someone tried to touch one of those other ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods silently. After getting his answer without hesitation, stretches his hand out towards the crystal. Wait, stop! Stopping's not an option, not for any of us. You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. Those won't. We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters, same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. After Ringo says anything else, Keiki reaches out. All the way out. Ooh, I get to touch the crystals. Oh, dang. KK follows the trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow energy of street lights and vending machines. His venture into unseen brings him close to a manhole cover where spiritual residue flashes with an eerie intensity. This spot is clearly the origin of whatever spirit is at the center of his mystery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around. Finding nothing, focuses his attention detail on his haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought he might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in his dark, dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. A Jibakure. According to Japanese lore, the type of spirit is trapped in the physical location. Okay, specter. What's keeping you tied down here? Says the specter. Spectre seems unable to answer. Instead, he mutters as if he's distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us are going anywhere until I get some answers. I need you to know, what are you doing here, specifically? At this manhole cover, why haunt this place? Spectre, I thought it was a kid. Just a kid playing around. Just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So, just being neighborly, eh? Yes, no. Not making friend, protecting. It wasn't a kid though, was it? There was something else, something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. What was it? Monster. The specter points downwards. Underneath, huh? Kiki stares at the manhole as though if it looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see that lurks in the darkness beneath the cover. He doesn't have to see the specter nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the manhole cover, he see himself A long shadow creeps in from the edge from the edge of the alleyway. Did you find anything? Snooping around a detective business, you don't belong here. I thought I heard you talking to someone. Who is this youngster? Says the specter. Only I hear you, so don't bother. Ryota, only you can hear me? Well, sure, nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show, kid. I need you to stay while I go down. It's not safe for you here. There. Not safe. Not safe. Monster. But how do you know I'll be safe up here? My team's on one call away. They'll get here quick if they are in danger. Okay. Weren't you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you should mention that. I could actually come use some help. I believe they call it client services. Who are you calling mister? Are they nice like you or nicer? Client services sounds more like babysitting to me. If only you would just wait for us to get there. We play the hand we're dealt. Juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs, a long, tired sigh of frustration. Person who knows that in the end, of course, they help. She'll always help him, and just as he will always help her. I have a perfect candidate in mind. Yeah, we're bringing Rinko down. You, Rinko, there's nobody I trust more. The way you look after Erica, you've got a way with young people. I just don't. Talk some sense to this kid. Make him give me the space I need to get the job done. Okay, put him on. Hiroto hands KK's phone to his ear and happy to make another new friend. Oh. Yeah? Mrs. Ghost Hunter? No, Ryota, this is Rinko. I'm the one who first read your message about your friend Sasuke. We're going to find him. You just need to have to trust us and listen to us. We need your help. Will you help us? We need a new deputy for our paranormal investigation force. A deputy? Like a real deputy? Yes. Perfect. Now our official task force lookout. It's a tough job, but not just anyone can do it. But I believe in you. I'm sending you an alert to your smartphone right now. Every 5 minutes, send me a message and tell me what you see, even if it's just normal stuff. I'll do my best. But you need to stay right where you are. If you go anywhere, you wouldn't be good. Be a good task force lookout. In that case, I wouldn't be forced to demote you to a lower position. You have no idea what kind of paperwork that would create. You can count on me, Rinko. KK watches as Ryota smiles and hands the phone back. Then the kid puts on a tough deputy face and begins to survey the entrance alleyway. I think I did a good choice choosing Rinko. She sounds like she's good with kids. We good? He's on the lookout duty. That should keep you busy for a while. But you'd better proceed with caution. We're on our way. You're the best. Tell me something I don't already know. Now to get down there and find your pal Sasuke. Okay. And I really wonder how long this case file is. I should have played this before the game came out. This is free, by the way, if you guys are interested in a free visual novel kind of thing. Okay, dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of Shibuya sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in the light. No, this is darkness. This darkness is unnatural. In fact, he's not in darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of a spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic paranormal waste coats the ground and plunges the drains. Ooh, but the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has this been building up here? Right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, the Kagari only increases. I wonder what Kagari means. There's definitely something here. There's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can handle, though. Alone in darkness, KK summons his power and... Ooh. Looks like we gotta draw a pattern. Oh yeah, okay. Wonder if this is gonna be a gameplay thing. In the base game. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to a normal state. That's better, minus the stink. With the Kagari now clear, as if they're waiting for him a moment of safety, someone appears. Sasuke, is that you? Small void avoids KK's look, turning to his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Uh-oh, getting some it vibes. Just we all float down here. Splish splash, splish splash. Hey you, kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath, take a bath. Come on, kids, this isn't the time for a place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you. You gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out, the tiny chime echoing back and forth into a hollow small space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be preoccupied. I'm close. I found Sasuke, but I'm worried he won't. Muffled sounds of Rinko. Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding. He can only make out a few sounds and struggles out to make out the words they might be forming. Muffled sounds. Hello? Is anybody there? Rinko, is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? I feel like Rinko would be on this scene. Call to Rinko. Rinko, can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him? Was Sasuke wearing a yellow raincoat? The scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand. Sasuke. It was about Sasuke. It's about Sasuke? Not... Rinko, I can't understand. Sasuke is not what? Not Sasuke! A call cuts out, the phone going dead in KK's hand. Damn. Enough screwing around, Sasuke. Just like that, finally, as it's called by its mother to come to dinner, the child responds and he stands up and turns to KK with dead, evil eyes. You're not Sasuke, you're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth to that an energy that he discovered that day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching that ether crystal. Ever heard of ethereal weaving monster? Energy surges from KK's green light, winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. Increasingly, light grows, illuminating the path, the tunnel. And in a moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, he can see the monster, this raincoat visitor. Just in time for it to press a child's whistle to his mouth and... As the stranger's fingertips lies, KK is now prisoner. I need my subject to remain calm or else something will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare. You son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes out and holds this in his hand. An amulet. Though clear, not simply for decoration, it surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadow and darkness. Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space. Two larger, far more horrifying visitors show up and challenge KK. I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Okay, talisman that stops visitors from moving. It will be consumed on use. Summons shield to protect from one visitor's attacks. Damage a single visitor. Let's damage them. Be on the offensive. Let's go, you bastards. One umbrella visitor is injured. The umbrella visitor attacks. Shield to protect you from one visitor's attack. I'm gonna do a shield. Barrier appears in front of KK. The umbrella visitor attacks, but its attack is deflected by the barrier. The barrier is broken. Let's see. The talisman that stops visitors from moving, and it will be consumed on use. Okay, so we got one stopped. Umbrella visitors frozen in place. Only one talisman is left. Let's finish them off. One umbrella visitor is injured. The umbrella visitor awakens from the stun. Let's see, give him another stun, I guess. Oh no. That was a barrier. That was my mistake. Darn. Attacks, but the attack is deflected by the barrier. The barrier is broken. Let's see. Hit him with that. He's injured. Umbrella visitor attacks. Okay, put up another barrier. And attacks are deflected by the barrier. The barrier is broken. Let's restrain him again. The barrier is broken. Umbrella visitor is frozen in place. You have no more stun talismans. I have a bad feeling that I used that when I shouldn't. You have no more stun talismans. One is invisible. You're done. And then, oh, that's cool. A little animation. Fight is now over. The sewer is oddly calm. KK sweeps the space looking for any clues that may be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest in their evil here? But then he sees it, affixed to the wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag. Someone called a Kifuda. This must be what summoned those things. KK reaches out and takes the Kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it, back to the beginning. KK. Rinko? God damn it, Rinko. Erica? KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying black smoke rising out of his body. Looking back, KK sees the man wearing a Hanya mask. You're... As KK comes to, he realizes that he is in the tunnel once again. No, still. He looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole, not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing, heavy. His mind races. It was a horrible dream. Maybe a vision. He grips his Kifuda in his hand. I won't let him get away with this. It's hard that it smashes into pieces. So hard that it smashes into pieces. At that moment, KK realizes he's not actually alone. Distracted by the fury, he had missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to see the face is this entity. But before he can raise his hand, I can't even do screams. Just reading it out for you guys, you know. KK emerges from the tunnel and finds Ryoto waiting for with the rest of the team. You fool! Run into a wall of Kagari and your instinct is to walk deeper into it when you know we're on our way to help? Listen, No, you listen. I'm not done yelling at your stupid ass for making me worry about you. Okay, but... all of our instruments at HQ started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice to get here as quick as possible. And then when we find an open sewer entrance, little Ryochi is peering down into the dirty tunnel, clearly considered climbing down there despite our best efforts to cover for you and keep him busy. Sure, except so we take a look ourselves. It's a corruption in all directions. The whole place is absolutely soaked in spirit residue. It's like we're massing an army beneath our feet and you go sniffing around? Alone? It's not. Maybe let her finish? Worst of all, you arrive stinking but unscathed, having been gone just long enough to have him convinced that you were really hurt down there and that I would never see you alive again. Problem with disappearing is disappearing into dangerous sewer alone, and is longer you're gone after Rinko has asked you to be cautious, the more time she has consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. The things we've been through together, when you're in danger, it's as if you can feel deep down there's nothing I can do. What if you had died? I thought of being haunted by you. Of all the people, I almost climbed down there to kill you myself. I'm sorry. Should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I value your friendship and support. I didn't hear that. Safely above ground, united with his team, KK turns into the original source of the drama, his young client Ryota. You're never gonna tell me, were you? Sosuke is your best friend, he's your dog. Oh, it was his dog. He's my dog and my best friend. KK steps back nervously as Sosuke drives to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh, calm down, he just wants to be pet, jeez. Who have you been thought such a tough as nails former detective would be such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't you broadcast it to all right? Don't be scared, Sosuke loves everyone. Maybe he should draw the line at loving monsters and falling them into a sewer. Ryota hugs his dog and gets face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless the little dog is, but still keeps his distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK, what an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by the new short name KK? I suppose it was a fun ring to it. Not quite formal as the full name. Before we just get too sidetracked, as a lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monster or filling out all these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer to fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines. Only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Ooh, a surprise for helping fight the ghosts? Almost. It's the bill. Ryoto's face sinks. It's a bill. He's left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your seat. I'm feeling generous tonight, right now. Ryoto looks close at the paper in his hand. The case of a cursed manhole. Extermination complete. Leaning in over the shoulder, Rinko lets out a uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, I get it. You didn't choose the name KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. There's a lot in life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like, but not like I've got any use for a real name these days, and definitely not one of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me, so long as I find that bastard. KK gazes, looks fierce as he recalling a bitter past. Reflecting his eyes is Ryota. He looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens in response. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. Let's say that better. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. And that's it. That's that Tokyo Prelude Corrupted Case File. It was a little bit long. Wow, that was an hour long. I did not expect to read that long, honestly. I hope you guys stuck around to the end. If you have, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I wonder if there's an end credit scene. Skip through all this. But yeah, this is made by the guys who made the Evil Within games. I've never played the Evil Within games. I know they're third-person action horror on the vein of Silent Hill with a mix of Resident Evil, survival horror. I would mind going back and actually visiting those games if you guys are interested. Leave a comment below. What do you think about this new IP, Ghostwire Tokyo? It's completely new. It's this interesting premise to me. It's more the sense of not horror, but more paranormal activity investigation from what I can surmise. Nevertheless, I think there's not going to be an extra credit to this. Let's see, going through. a lot of people worked on this visual novel kind of thing. I've never been a fan of visual novels. I've never read any to begin with. I know there's a lot that a lot of people, my friends have recommended, but this is my first time that I've read. It's a good kind of prelude as to name drop prequel to the whole entire story. So maybe this will shed some light on to what's going on, who I'm playing as. I feel like KK is going to be a dominant figure, and along with these also side characters that we got to learn about. Got to learn about Rinko, who's basically the girl in the chair, Erica, the rookie, Ed being the bureaucratic of the team. I wonder if Ryota is gonna show up in the game. I know dogs are a feature in the game. You can actually talk to them. I mean, talk spiritually and see what's on their mind. And I don't want to spoil it yet, but there's a few bits that I saw already on TikTok that really got to me and made me a little emotional. But yeah, look at all these people. The ZeniMax UK, man, so many people worked on just this visual novel alone. Impressive stuff. I appreciate, it's such an interesting storytelling medium, and honestly, I'm just panning it out, trying to get to the end. Let's see. Okay, and yeah, I guess that's it. That was the credits and everything. Of course, it was just a whole big ad to buy the game now, but we have the game, and you can check out the next video. It should be up by now. It's gonna be my first hour or so with the game, condensed to first 30 minutes. We're gonna keep it 30 minutes, and then if you guys are interested in me playing the game even further, let me know in the comments below. I feel like this is gonna be a good new walkthrough series. I'm excited. Well, without further ado, end screen's up. Do what you need to do. Next video is up. Check it out. Don't forget that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Leave a like, comment on the video to help me boost in the algorithm and show YouTube that I'm a serious YouTuber. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my little narrated walkthrough of Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, the Corrupted Case Files, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.